from the Built for Tough Studio, Boomer Science and Greg Giannotti. It's Boomer and Gio on the Fan, simulcast across the country on CBS Sports Network and wherever you are in the free Odyssey app. Good Friday morning, a feel-good football Friday, a feel-good Yankees Friday, an overall feel-good Friday as the New York Yankees move on, beating the Boston Red Sox last night, and it was Cam Schlittler with an epic, historic, dominant performance of the Boston Red Sox in this Game 3. The Yankees break out, were able to scratch across 4 runs in the 4th inning, and then Schlitler just kept doing his thing. So that is the story. A rookie who we knew little about heading into the season, knew little about in the middle of the season, delivers this gem in the postseason, sending the Yankees up to Toronto for an ALDS. Yes, we've got the Giants and the Saints. We've got the Jets and the Cowboys. A wild start to the week with a Rams loss to the 49ers, a really weird ending to that game. We'll get to all of it. Good morning, Boomer. How are you?
Yeah, good morning, G. I'm doing great, and all I can say is, wow. Just wow. What a performance, and, everybody that covers the team, everybody that roots for the team. Phone was blown up last night. Are you seeing this? Are you watching this? Can you believe this kid? And, he did. I mean, I think one of the writers wrote, he did put forth a performance for the ages. I mean, it was amazing just sitting there watching him. And I love watching these young pitchers pitch like this. They have this ability to just stand up there and just not even what's his name? The guy, the pitcher for
Connolly
the Red Sox.
Early.
Yeah, Early. Even he, until the 4th inning, I mean, they were just going tit for tat back and forth. And it's just so great to see young kids be able to do what each one of these guys were doing. And then, of course, Cam took it all the way into the 8th inning, which I was, he's still throwing 97, 98 in the 8th inning. They probably could have brought him out in the 9th if they wanted to. But it was a flawless performance. I mean, there were no walks. I think he threw 22 first-pitch strikes. He had guys off balance. He got a couple good calls by the umpire because, when you're throwing the ball 100 miles an hour, that umpire, that ball gets there pretty quickly, and especially when it's at the top of that box, that strike box, and he was getting those calls as well. But, man, what a freaking performance, and deserves all the accolades this morning. It was a big time, save the season. I'm going to show up. I'm going to take the ball. I'm not going to worry about what anybody else is doing, and I'm just going to do my job. And, I mean, that was breathtaking, actually, from a pitching standpoint. And you could watch, like Garrett Cole was sitting there watching, and they kept showing him. He was so locked into him because of what he was doing. And, here's the one thing I hope for this kid. I hope this kid's arm lasts forever. I hope he doesn't have to go through anything that's going to, derail him at this age because, man, that was just brilliance. I mean, I don't know how else to put it. It was just brilliant just watching him and watching them try to chase that, whether it be his the 4-seamer, the 2-seamer. I'm so sick of all these different things, but it was amazing just watching it. And that's old school baseball. That's what that was. And thankfully, Anthony Volpe's actually on this team because once again makes an incredible defensive play at second base, has to do this 2 games in a row now. And he comes up with a key single. I know he strikes out 3 times, but there's something about the October baseball that brings out the best in this young man, and he's shutting everybody up. Now, I know he's not trying to do that. I know it doesn't really matter to him what people say about him, but, man, you got to be extremely happy for what this young Yankee fan growing up has turned out to be at shortstop in the biggest games.
Yeah, when certain guys get up in situations in the postseason, you have an expectation, some positive, some negative, and with Volpe in the playoffs, it's positive. You want him up in these situations, which is the direct opposite of how we felt about him for a ton of the regular season because he really did struggle, and everybody knew he struggled defensively and offensively, but, man, he's got that in him as a young player to rise to the occasions in these situations just like Schlitler did last night, and he had shown us some flashes. He had been really impressive, Cam, throughout the regular season. But to do this in an elimination game in his first postseason start, at 24 years old when he'd only been up here since July with 50,000 fans screaming at you and the Red Sox and the Yankees. I mean, I can't even imagine being him at that age, taking the ball and being that confident. And I guess, when you start rolling, you're that talented, the confidence builds inning by inning. But, I mean, you mentioned Connolly early. I mean, he was cruising too, and then the Yankees were able to break through, and Schlitler never – Right, yes. And Schlitler was never had that moment where – that tense moment. He just didn't let the Red Sox breathe. He just had his foot on their neck the entire time.
And I have to say, it was the one time where – you just hoping the Yankees got a run somewhere along the line because you just wanted to see this kid go back out on the mound and do his thing. You just wanted to see how long he could do it. How long were those balls in the upper 90s going to continue to come? And it just kept coming, and it kept coming, and it was just amazing watching him do that, put that performance forth for all of us just to sit there and enjoy. I have to say, we come in here a lot of times, and it's disappointment Monday. It's this, that, and the other thing. We talk about a feel-good Friday. I mean, if you are a Yankee fan and you saw that, and we all saw this kid last night, man, and they were talking about it in the booth last night, the future for the Yankees, assuming everybody stays healthy. Holy crap. Their starting pitchings could be ridiculous.
Yeah.
And by the way, so we're not going to hear any Anthony Volpe crap anymore this morning, thankfully. I don't think we should hear any more Aaron Boone crap this morning, thankfully. You know why? Because the guys who he asked to do their jobs did their jobs last night. That's what happened. That's the difference.
Right, exactly. That's exactly what it is. And, maybe people had an issue of keeping Rodon in a little bit too long, but it didn't ultimately kill them. And the Schlitler one the guy was pitching his ass off. I mean, it was obvious what was going on. And
if that were Terry Collins, he would have put him out there in the ninth. I know it for a fact.
Well, yeah.
We've been down that road before with the young super stud in a big playoff game.
It's funny that you bring that up and you reference the Mets. And I was thinking last night with this performance that Schlitler had, we, as the season was ending, as Mets fans are comparing horrible years to this year. Like, that was what it was. That was our comparison. Oh, it's like 07, it's like 08. Here we go again. It's the worst. These guys stink. It's disappointment. But then Schlitler for the Yankees, he goes out there and does that, and every Yankee fan goes, man, that was like El Duque. That was like Andy Pettitte in a big spot. That was all these David Wells. It was like, I mean, that's what. It's just, I'm just so jealous of it. I'm just so jealous. We sit here, we go back and say, oh, this reminds me of the Marlins beating us and Tom Glavine on the mound and choking it up in back-to-back years, and the same thing's happening again. And they never make the playoffs in back-to-back years. And when they have expectations, they fail and they puke on themselves. Now they got young pitchers again that we hope it's the same crap over and over again. And with the Yankees, it's like, oh, man, that reminds me of when they were, in the middle of their dynasty and guys would come up and dominate on the mound and, beating the Red Sox like we used to do. I mean, I just wish I had positive reference points in my life like that with my franchises.
Well, I mean, 12.
So good for you, Yankee fans.
How about him? 12 Ks. I mean, I don't know how many pitches he threw over 100 miles an hour last night. I can't even imagine being in the batter's box, seeing some of those pitches come in, and then some of those, I guess those two-seam sinking fastballs.
Sinkers, the 100-mile-an-hour sinkers.
Jesus, I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
I mean, and, the good thing is that we do have a Nolan McLean. We do have a Brandon Sproat, and maybe Noah Tong will make it. I don't know, but all I can say is that there's nothing better than watching a kid live out a dream and do it in such a spectacular manner. I mean, there's nothing you could say other than, oh, wow.
Yeah,
I mean, that's a wow moment
right.
if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, I mean, and this will be the last Met reference I'll make, but there's two other things I was thinking about last night. Was one, the Detroit Tigers, who choke away the division and collapse, but then get into the postseason and beat the team that jumped over them. And now they're moving on to the ALDS. That was something we were hoping would happen if the Mets were able to get in. I understand they would have had to play the Dodgers, but still. And also, being robbed of the opportunity to see Nolan McLean do something like Cam Schlittler did last night. So those two things bothered me.
The Yankee fans probably smiling, hearing these things, but it's not about us this morning. It's about them and them moving on now to take on the Toronto Blue Jays, who probably don't want to see the Yankees. This is a big, big series for that franchise, man. Nobody takes this group seriously because they haven't accomplished anything. They end up winning the AL East, but that's not going to mean a damn thing if the Yankees beat them in this series.
Exactly. So this is their measuring stick series.
Oh, yeah, litmus test.
Measuring stick, that kind of thing. We got a few of those football games, too, this coming weekend. The other thing that I like about Nolan McLean and Cam Schlittler is their windups and just how there isn't a lot of like movement to what they do. There's a very simple mechanical way that they go about their pitching, and there's nothing. Neither player on the mound shows any signs of any panic. There's just a real belief in what they can do. Like when I think of Kodai Senga pitching, or I'm trying to think of when John Franco was pitching towards the end of his career, remember he was nibbling everything, trying to get guys to go after bad pitches, and that was his key. Like the pitch looked like it was going to be a strike, it'd be out of the strike zone, they'd swing at it, they'd strike out, and he'd walk off with another save. That was his way of thinking. Kodai Senga, nibble here, nibble there. Like, that it's not that John Franco didn't believe in his stuff. He did, but that's the way he pitched. But like a Kodai Senga is afraid to throw the ball over the plate. Like, to me, that's the pitcher competing is challenging the hitters and throwing your best stuff within the strike zone. And both Nolan McLean, I think Brandon Sproat has it too, but Cam Schlittler both have it. They both have that ability, and I think, younger Garrett Cole was probably that way. Even like Rodon last year. There's nibble here, nibble there, afraid to throw your stuff over the plate because you think it's going to get hit. This kid last night was like, if you could hit it, good luck, man. Good luck, because you're not going to hit it, and I'm going to throw it right over the plate, and you're not even going to see it. How many times did they swing at pitches last night? I know late in the game it happened a little bit more than earlier in the game, where the pitch was out of the strike zone because they had to make a decision, because they weren't sure what he was throwing or where it was going to end up.
Yeah, he had him off balance the entire night. And to be that dominant and that confident and that young in that situation is what makes it so extra impressive.
That's a Nolan Ryan, Tom Seaver performance last night.
Here we go.
That's exactly what that is. Why can't I say that?
Every time.
Why can't I say that? That's a Roger Clemens performance.
Oh, that's maybe a little bit better, I guess.
All right, that's a Roger Clemens performance. That is a freaking dominating. I'm up here. I'm throwing gas, and good luck hitting it.
Yeah, no, he was great, man. He definitely was.
It reminded me of Jacob deGrom a little bit.
deGrom too.
Yeah, here's the thing. I don't know the personality of him. We saw a bunch of his starts this year, and they were pretty good. And I don't think any of us expected 12 strikeouts against the Red Sox. No. Hit a freaking playoff game to save the Yankee season, but it is, it's the wow factor. But I mean, could you imagine just having that kind of confidence in what you're doing? I mean, he must have woke up on the right side of the bed yesterday morning. When he was warming up, he probably felt, wow, I feel pretty good.
Yeah.
And then to get out of that first inning the way that he did, and the way that ball was coming out of his hand last night, I hope it's not a once-in-a-lifetime situation. I want to see him pitch like 3 or 4 more times this postseason.
Well, he's going to get the opportunities, you know that. And someone, let's see, 11:05 p.m., someone posted to me on X, Rob D42, said, who will Boomer Esiason compare Cam Schlittler to tomorrow morning? Your answer is Nolan Ryan, Tom Seaver, Jacob deGrom, and Roger Clemens.
How's that? Is that pretty good?
Those are 4 right there, so there's your answer.
I'm saying that's the kind of performance it was.
11:05. That's what Rob D42 was thinking.
Hey, Rob D42, go kiss my ass. Because that's exactly what it is. You got to put it in perspective. You got to give somebody like an understanding of what you think you just saw.
Yeah, no, I know. I hear you. Yep. It was a big one. And we got the Blue Jays now to focus on.
We got the Blue Jays?
Yeah, as a New York baseball people.
Oh, New York baseball people, okay.
We as a show.
Okay.
Well, we as a show have to focus on the Blue Jays.
Well, I'm not focusing on them yet.
Not the whole show.
No, can't do that.
Well, you're going to focus on the Blue Jays as well to win. That's what we're doing. We're going to be thinking about the Blue Jays. That's all I said. We have the Blue Jays now to think about. We were thinking about the Red Sox. Now we are thinking about the Blue Jays.
I mean, who do you think that Cam Schlittler looked like last night? 888-808-1019.
Oh, God, Al's just going to... He's going to get a hose from his exhaust to his mouth and you do that again. Man. Yeah, it is a feel-good Yankees Friday. It's a feel-good football Friday, and Cam Schlittler delivered. Yankees move on. Jerry Recco is going to have all the highlights for you coming up in just a couple of minutes.